you doing?
Man, good to see you.
Good, thank you. Today, we're at BarrelHouse. I'm here with the manager, David. We're gonna take a tour around the restaurant, talk about a little history, learn a little bit about whiskey and beer. David, let's go check it out. About just like
so like to be considered bourbon, it's got to have a certain percentage of corn versus rye. I'm not sure what that is, but the other thing is it's got to be made from like pure unfiltered lime water. So and maybe I'm saying it wrong, but basically the streams in the western half of Kentucky have a high concentration of lime. Like
the water stream.
Yeah, so like the streams are running through mountains and rocks, and a lot of those rocks are lime. So the water just has
really technical. Like it's a really technical process.
It's and it's really just it gives the water a certain flavor, and
that flavor bleeds over into the
the
alcohol.
And that's what makes it bourbon basically. I mean, it's just like champagne is just sparkling wine, but if it's grapes from the Champagne region of France, then it's called champagne. Otherwise, it's called sparkling wine. Or Prosecco. Or,
I am a little bit more familiar with that,
Yeah.
right? And I thought it was interesting that you were telling me a little bit, and I'll bring it back up just because we're behind the bar now, but the name BarrelHouse came from just the older time where like people used to go to the quote-unquote BarrelHouse to get their whiskey.
BarrelHouse is a kind of an old-timey term for juke joint, or, and it's actually what like on a sharecropping field or a plantation or something like that, that was where they would keep the whiskey. So on the weekend when they got to party, they would get a barrel, they'd go put it in a little outhouse, and
then people come by.
And it was called the BarrelHouse. That's where you went and got we'd go to the BarrelHouse, get your glass of whiskey. And then that term kind of evolved, into like a juke joint. Little small music venue.
Who doesn't love a good juke joint?
Who doesn't love a good juke joint? So that's what it means. And everything about this restaurant kind of came from the space. So we had the space, and it was just a big empty shell. And we kind of knew some things we wanted to do. We wanted to have a kind of a different take on Southern classics as far as the food menu goes. We wanted to have a good selection of beer, and we wanted to have a really good selection of whiskey.
Oh, I didn't know about the beer selection.
Yeah, well, we got a decent selection of beer. We keep a pretty
What's
good
your
stock.
favorite up there?
Probably it depends on the time of the year. It's hot right now, so I don't mind a little beat of strawberry.
A little beat of strawberry. I might have to try that one.
The crowd control, the crowd control Southern Prohibition IPA will get you right.
Which one is that one? This one right here. I've heard about IPAs.
That's about a 9%er. Yeah. Two of those you'll be sick.
I got to make it home.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Maybe one of those, and then switch to light beer.
Yeah. So whiskey selection, beer selection. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So when we got in here, it was just an empty shell from wall to wall. Then it had like the foam drop ceiling in it. So the ceiling was only maybe 8 feet tall, right?
Okay.
So we got in here and started to tear everything out.
It was only maybe 8 feet tall?
Yeah, it was just like the foam ceiling you would see in the doctor's office.
This was behind.
Yeah, we couldn't see any of that. So we tore all that out, and we saw this gorgeous ceiling and all these, old metal trusses, and like, man, this looks great.
And it's kind of got a circular thing.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like a barrel.
Yeah, it does.
So once we saw that, one of the other guys involved was like, man, it looks like a barrel. I'm like, oh, BarrelHouse. It fits with the whiskey, and it just all kind of fell into place there. And
wow.
We really just wanted to create a place where anybody could come. We didn't want to.
You think you guys have done a good job of that so far?
I sure hope so, man, because it feels like that. We didn't price it too high. It's not too expensive. You can come in and just have a drink. You can just come in and get an appetizer. It doesn't really matter. We've made it a point of being inclusive to everybody and supporting lots of different groups that maybe everybody around here doesn't support. So we tried to make it welcoming and just make it a place where anybody can come, even just to have a drink or.
That's going to give you guys a lot of longevity. So.
Well, I mean, it's been great so far. We've made it through 5 years. We made it through a pandemic. We made it through 2 Jackson water crises where we had to close for a week because the pipes froze.
So tough on business, I would imagine.
I mean, we've seen a lot of our neighbors close up shop in the 5 years that we've been here. and not because they were doing anything wrong. Just
It's got to
because
be a bittersweet thing, right? 'Cause,
It is.
Obviously, you guys are still around, so
Yeah.
you're proud of that. But
Right.
to see kind of some of your peers go down,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
It is tough. We're blessed. We're grateful to be here, and we hope to be here 5 more years at least.